Hello, hi, and welcome back to Flowers du WHYYYYY. I'm your host, Polly, and the last time we were together, things happened in the visual novel that we were reading, and now we're going to continue reading the visual novel to find out what happens next. Are you excited? We're gonna break into Dahlia's room. We're gonna splinter cell this shit so hard. We decide to stage our break-in the following afternoon. However... Oh no. Is she a step ahead of us? Did she get a new door lock? No! We've been foiled. When we pay a reconnaissance visit under the pretext of bringing our lunches back to our rooms, some rambunctious teenagers were breaking into rooms somehow. Ooh, she's a crafty one. Previously, Erika-san had made short work of the lock on Komikado-senpai's door, so there had been talk of upgrading the locks for security purposes. But I never expected it to be implemented so soon. So soon? It's been like a month and a half! It's been a while. They had to have done this at some point. But like they've had all the time in the world to do this. I mean, that makes sense. The new lock is like the automatic locking systems they had at a hotel I once stayed at, having gone to see one of my stepmother's piano recitals. I think our only choice here is to bail. To solve our current mystery, there's something in particular I need from Sister Basquiat's room. Spurred on by impatience, I lay my hand on Erika-san's shoulder. I don't know, I think she's been super touchy-feely this past month. She squints at the doorknob, then the keyhole. Yeah, like that's something you're gonna carry around, you know, conveniently at an all-girls boarding school in the sticks. Yes, let's buy our way in. How convenient that she would have plastic playing cards. Most of those are typically just cardboard. But when you go to an all-girls boarding school in the sticks, you bring your best cards with you, and those are the laminated ones. I don't know that I've ever played cards with, like, plastic or laminated playing cards. With a muttered, of course, Erika-san passes me the item she borrowed from Sister Basquiat's room and then puts her hand on her chin and screws up her face. What do we got here? Hopefully this should provide us with a clue. She is not to be trifled with. All right, we got the letter, so what exactly was said? Yes, I now have the item I asked Erika-san for. It's weird that she would just leave that laying around. I feel like that's something you would put in a lockbox or something. Rika-san murmurs, staring down at the letter in my hand. We all look over the writing on the page. Yeah, like, I'm sure that Erica doesn't feel good having had to break into, Dahlia's room. This isn't something I think that she's gonna feel very good about for a long time. Takasaki-san murmurs, then falls silent. All right, what do we got? Why is there a deer that says nice to meet you in 1 and 4? That's the thing that sticks out to me the most already. Okay, so it's just like a detailed list of where the Hookman was sighted and when, and with all like the weather details to kind of make it very believable. I ask that you please do not condemn the student who committed this prank. Okay.
強すぎる仕置きは体だけでなく心まで傷つけ自分を見失わせ都合のいい現実を生み出しそこに逃げ込んでしまうかもしれません。
Okay.
無償の愛でどうか包んであげてください。
Please treat them with selfless love and compassion. Well, that doesn't sound like what suspending someone is. A plea for leniency.
最後にいたずら書きしてやがる。キリスト教的に言えば心優しい隣人ってのを演じてるが、手紙を出してる時点で底意地が悪いんだよ。
1 and 4, nice to meet you. She points to the bottom of the letter where there's a picture of a reindeer printed on the Christmas-themed stationery. A hand-drawn speech bubble extends from its mouth. Damn, she just spit that out. Erika-san snorts, asking Takasaki-san to bring her a cup of coffee. I run my eyes over the letter again. I tell them that there's one strange inconsistency. I read out the details, time, place, weather, of the sighting that supposedly occurred on the day I met with Mayuri in the art room. Erika-san snatches the letter from me and glares down at it like a caterpillar or something gross. Okay. She's about to say that it would cast the whole thing into doubt, but Erika-san cuts her off.
Yeah,
so it was still overcast by evening. I don't think that... I think that that's a little hyper-focused of a detail there. Her words fall like rain on a bonfire, and silence fills the room. Nothing is ever your fault, Erika. Ichiko-san's tone is dejected, but... I feel something tugging at me. It's that same horrible niggling feeling that itches at me whenever I can tell I'm missing something. Erika-san picks the letter back up from the desk and stares intently at the handwritten text as though able to see through the truth behind it.
日時、飛行、場所、これらに間違いはない。
Yeah, the final sentences are just so weird. I ask that you please do not condemn the student who committed this prank. Too harsh a punishment would harm them not only physically, but mentally, and they would perhaps lose sight of themselves and seek refuge in their own convenient version of reality. Please treat them with selfless love and compassion. It just seems so weird. Rather than overlooking something, I get the feeling that I'm being shown something I don't really want to see. Suddenly, a giggle, quite at odds with the mood, cuts through the tension and I quickly look up.
ごめんなさい。すごく真剣に見ていたから。
You just look like a gigantic dork staring at this puzzle letter. Then Rika-san seems to notice that everyone else is looking at her dubiously, as if to ask what could possibly be funny about this situation. She blinks rapidly and flaps her hand around, loudly proclaiming that she didn't mean it like that.
別に茶化したわけじゃなくて、私には便箋のトナカイを見つめていたように見えたから。
We're all going along for this ride together, folks. I have no idea where we're going. These teenagers are going to be way smarter than me.
トナカイ。そうね。このトナカイさん、可愛いものね。少し前に視聴覚室でみんなで見たジングルオールザウェイって映画を思い出した。
That's a fun movie. Rika-san's words ease the tense mood, and everyone starts talking about how fun the movie was. Recalling the scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger shouts out the names of the 8 reindeers, I find myself smiling too. Wait a minute. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vic. Dasher, Dancer, Dasher? I don't know what that has to do with anything. 1 and 4? The reindeer's names, the numbers across its back. Could it be? The puzzle pieces that were all jumbled together suddenly slot neatly into place, forming a complete picture in my mind.
ありがとう。困っている時に助けてくれるのはやっぱりリッカさんだわ。スオさんがそう言ってくれるのは嬉しいわ。
Feeling my amitié partner's soft, warm body in my arms, I think about what this letter really means. The bigger the man, the deeper the footprint. And if he loves, he suffers, knowing it's a dead-end street. This line, I think of the line from Cinema Paradiso. Gazing out the window, I see a faint trace of footsteps on the snowy path and wonder whether my own footprints remain stamped on her heart. Hers still stand out in a sharp relief to my own that left deep, indelible marks. Turning away from the window, I murmur aloud that I'm doing the same thing again, although this time I'm in the opposite position. Back then, Yatsushiro-senpai was the one. Memories surface like old wounds as I stand there in the close, quiet darkness. I shake my head to clear it and begin to sort out my thoughts so I can approach what I need to do in the right order. Oh, jeez. All right, so I guess we're gonna give this a go. Hold on, where's my button? All right. One by one, I'll tease out the facts I need from information that I've gathered. First, the information gathered due to everyone's efforts and the contents of the letter. The proof that I'm not the hookman. What proves that Suo Shirahane is not the hookman? There was information that could only have been in... Oh, yep. But in order to convince them that I'm not the culprit, I may have to give them the real culprit's name and motive. Indeed, there's a secret hidden in the letter. What is the secret hidden in the letter? Words of the Council of Nicaea. This is the truth I've arrived at thanks to everyone's investigative efforts. And now the name of the person who sent the letter is your girl, Yuzuriha Yatsushiro. She's meddling in the background for some reason. After giving us all of the clues we needed to start digging toward this whole Shion Basquiat Mayuri situation, this girl's meddling for some reason in the background. I have no idea why she would be farting around here. After I've finished piecing everything together, I realized that something still feels slightly off. There's something I haven't quite digested. I'm trying to shake the queasy feeling in my stomach when a noise heralds the arrival of the person I've been waiting for. You're supposed to be spending your suspension in your... Oh my god. Did she sneak back in? Is she here? She's freaking... Oh. She's here right now! Sister Basquiat steps into the room. Her words are accompanied by a reproachful look. Oh, we are... like, this whole game has been an exercise in Suo really stepping in it. And this woman is none too happy right now. Her words are accompanied by a reproachful look. I am. I had Ichigo-san leave a note outside Sister Basquiat's room summoning her here. She's being very stern. She's not happy about this. She does not like us meddling around, and more so, she does not like the fact that we broke into her room and stole something. Which, you know, fair. The accusatory word is like a stab in the chest, but I strengthen my posture, unwilling to bow to the suspicion that I've seen in her eyes ever since she handed down my suspension and nod, slowly but firmly. Sister Basquiat signs the cross in front of her chest. I tell her that at first I thought maybe it was fine for me to be the hookman. I think I hear her murmur the phrase self-sacrifice. I look her straight in the eyes. Let's go! My statement echoes in the gloom. It feels like my words themselves have petrified, along with the air through which they now reverberate. Here in this still and silent place, it feels as though the only thing moving is the gaze of my stepmother as she tries to ascertain what's happening. Sister Basquiat's soft, bewildered voice shatters the frozen air. I hold out the letter to her.
場所が書き連ねられています。
それが誤りだというのですか？
いいえ、恐ろしく正確でした。この手紙通り、確かに私はあの場に潜んでいた。
She falls silent, searching my eyes. Her probing gaze reminds me of how Yatsushiro-senpai would look inside me.
この手紙での唯一の相違点は、日時でもなく、気候でもなく、場所でもない。私はフックマンの紛争をしていないということです。
それは
私が嘘をついてるとお思いですか？ですが、フックマンの格好は緑色の街灯に、手には仮詰め。この学園には私服は持ち込めない。
以前夏に起きたフックマン騒動で学園指定のレインコートと枝打ちの棒などを持っていれば錯覚するだろうという話を聞いています。
That had been Erika-san's suggestion when she had put the Hookman incident to rest in front of everyone. I nod.
確かに人は錯覚してしまうこともあります。見たいものを見てしまう。
We've definitely seen a bit of that over the course of the game as well.
私がレインコートを着込み、凶器を手にしていたら、そう見えてしまうでしょう。
でしたら
ですが、ここで一つ疑問が残ります。私が紛争していたのなら、なぜ黒いレインコートを緑色だと手紙の送り主
Why indeed? Sister Basquiat, Gulls silent. She probably falls silent again. I don't think Gulls is how you use that word. Sister Basquiat falls silent again, staring down at her feet for a long moment before answering.
八重垣さんのお話でも目の錯覚だと話していました。白羽さんが目撃されたのは夕暮れ。黒いレインコートが遠くからは緑色に見えてしまったのでは？
And there we have it. I heave an internal sigh of relief. From the corner of the room, my stepmother cackles.
つまり、バスキア教諭は手紙の送り主が遠くから私を見ていたと。では、なぜ告発者はそのフックマンを私だと断言できたのでしょうか？
Binoculars!
黒いレインコートが夕映えであやふやになるほど遠くから見ていたのなら、相手はどうやって私の顔を視認していたのですか？
She seems to finally grasp the meaning behind my words. Looking down at the letter, still clasped in my hand, she rubs a hand over her forehead.
フックマンの紛争を完全に行うなら、目深にフードをかぶっていなければならない。なおさら顔を確認しづらい。
I push on.
確かに2階屋の階でフックマンの噂を聞き、一人で調べていたことは事実です。ですが、その時も私の周りに顔を確認できるほど近くにいる人物などはいなかった。
ではこの手紙は？
行動を読み、予測して書いたものだと推測しています。私の性格を知る者なら、フックマンの事件が解決するまで捜索することは
Just like rolling the dice here on this letter. Just like hoping for the best.
この手紙が予測を含むものとして伺えるのは、日時は正確ですが、初めて私がフックマンを探索した日は含まれていない。
I show her how, even though I set out to solve the Hookman mystery on the very day the council received the report, that the date isn't included in the letter.
つまりこの手紙は
私を
Yep, it's designed to frame her from the beginning. Strictly speaking, that's not entirely the truth, but it's a palatable enough version.
バスキア教諭から教職員 話をしていただけますか？
Whether or not I'm permitted to perform in tomorrow's recitation, I want her to end my suspension at least. I don't know what's going through Sister Basquiat's head right now, and I don't think that this long silence tells me much. But I don't want to render my friend's considerable efforts useless due to my own selfishness.
この手紙には嘘だけでなく様々な意図が隠されていました。
Yeah, this thing's coded to hell and back.
手紙に何かしらの思惑を潜ませているということですか？
Nodding, I move closer to Sister Basquiat and hold the letter out before her.
この便箋ですがイラストが描かれていますよね。
ええ、中井のこれは数字？
She squints down at it. She had probably already seen the words coming out of the reindeer's mouth, but without noticing the numbers on its back.
私はこれが手紙の送り手が私へと向けたメッセージだと考えています。
Like, they knew you would come for this letter at some point. They knew that this letter would end up in her hands because they know they know how resourceful this group is.
これが？
As she stares down at the page, I ask her whether she's aware that Santa Claus has other reindeers besides the famous Rudolph. There are 8 of them.
赤鼻のトナカイ、ルドルフを除いたハット。
Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen.
フランサー、ビクセン、ドナー、ブリッツェン、キューピッド、コメットですよね。
Sister Basquiat says that she learned the names from a poem, and I tell her I learned them from a movie. And I learned them from a song.
8頭のトナカイの名前にはそれぞれ意味があります。例えば2番手を走るダンサーはその名の通り踊り手。
Oh, am I gonna have to have known this? Boy, I'm glad this wasn't a part of the mystery I had to figure out, because then we'd be going right back to like springtime mystery bullshit. And I'd have just sat here laughing at the game for the next 20 minutes for wanting me to know that.
もしかしてこのトナカイの背にある数字は？
1&4
Dasher's the first, 4th is Vixen.
新車そして4番手の
Right.
口やかましい女。
I point to the final word of the letter, regards.
手紙の送り主はおそらく突進者花火師リカさんと口やかましい女八重垣リカさんへよろしく伝えてくれという。
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. I was just keeping you in suspense. I mean, who couldn't have figured out that the Dasher is Rika Hanabishi and that the Vixen is Erika Yaigaki? I mean, duh. It's convoluted, but then again, that's their style. I can't help but smile as I remember how particularly fond they were of Rika-san and Erika-san.
一体
I haven't said who's behind the letter, but I'm sure that a picture is emerging in Sister Basquiat's mind. With my stepmother's glare following my every move, I feel out how much more I should say.
そして送り主は自分が誰かを知ってほしかった。告発状に書かれた結びの文。
I ask that you please do not condemn the student who committed this prank. Too harsh a punishment would harm them not only physically, but mentally, and they would perhaps lose sight of themselves and seek refuge in their own convenient version of reality. Please treat them with selfless love and compassion. I read the final few sentences aloud. Sister Basquiat tenses as my cold voice echoes hollowly through the room.
この結びの文にも意味が隠されています。それは送り手が私と彼女だけしか知り得ない情報を混ぜているのです。
Selfless love. Sure. Losing sight of yourself, seeking refuge in your own convenient version of reality. That would be Tulpa. Oh. Yeah, we're done here. You will stop this right now. Oh, geez, she's not happy. She's not happy at all. Just as I'm about to speak the word that only she and I have discovered, Sister Basquiat cuts me off. Her words sharp as icicles. I close my mouth. Are you just giving in and saying, all right, you got me? Is this the Walter White throwing your hands up? You got me. Why didn't I notice before? Sister Basquiat's eyes are devoid of emotion, as dull and cold as a midwinter sky. I've had many fearful encounters in my life, but those who have lost their hearts, those who love not one but themselves, those who only hurt others through their own weakness, and yet the woman standing before me now is something quite different. She reminds me of those strange chimerical creatures that live in the dark and cold of the ocean depths. Just backing down, just like, all right, I'm backing down. Like, this is a misunderstanding. We'll go no further on this. We are getting close to something, and she doesn't want us anywhere near it. She's just backing off and giving us the win without having to say much. I don't know that I like that. I don't feel any happiness. Boy. In Dahlia Basquiat's eyes, I see a ghost different from that of my stepmother, and all I can do is stare after her in silence as she walks away. What is she hiding? This is so messed up. Yo, it's recital time. This will probably be me shutting my stupid mouth time because they're gonna play all of the friggin' text boxes way too fast for me to read. Sister Basquiat convinces the rest of the faculty that the suspicions levied against me were all a misunderstanding, and my suspension is quickly lifted. In the end, the Hookman sightings are written off as cases of mistaken identity, and everything calms down. However, I know the truth. I know that there was a Hookman. I was convinced it was Mayuri, but considering the circumstances, I am now certain that a certain person was involved. At any rate, everyone is delighted for me, not least my Amitié partner who led the charge. Surprisingly, so is everyone in the Council of Nicaea. During my suspension, I was forced to step down temporarily from my council duties. The news of this stepping down seems to have caused a bit of anxiety for the other members. They were worried, apparently, that the faculty would deem the measures I passed and the agendas I approved of inappropriate. Though it was a futile endeavor, they appealed against my suspension, but of course, the faculty were swift in their dismissal. Still, the newly appointed disciples of the Council of Nicaea must have worried that it was somehow their fault, and so I was surprised when all the members of the group turned up in my room in the middle of the night to check on me. However, I too am wrestling with anxiety, the ghost I saw in Sister Basquiat's eyes that day. At first, it was unfamiliar, like some alien thing I'd never encountered before. However, now, given what we know about her father and the things that she's said until now, and kind of where he ended up emotionally, that's a thinker. Yes, I knew that look. I had seen it in my gentle father's eyes from time to time. Was what I had seen reflected in his eyes the ghost of my birth mother? And if the look in his eyes was the same as that in Sister Basquiat's, was there something in his emotional connection to my mother of which I was never aware? My mother was always such a chatterbox, and yet after she passed away, he introduced my taciturn stepmother to our lives. Feeling unease well up within me, I looked toward the wings. Despite my apprehension, there are no signs of my stepmother. Instead, I only see Ogihara-senpai talking to Hokama-senpai. My name. The thought comes to me suddenly, perhaps because I've been thinking of my father. I've wondered about my name before, and I recall talking to my father about it. A common homework assignment in elementary school is to ask your parents about the origin of your own name. A name is a first gift that parents give their children. When I asked my father where Suo came from, yes, that was when his eyes first took on that same shade I saw in Sister Basquiat's. Seeing this for the first time, I went instead to my mother, and she told me that my father had decided on it after several days of intense consideration. She told me that because I was their first child, he had put a great deal of thought into it. He chose it because he liked the flower of the Chinese redbud, which was called Hana Suo in Japanese. Apparently, my father displayed Chinese redbuds in his room only on particular days. Redbud, the Judas tree. Did he know the anecdote that Judas Iscariot hanged himself from such a tree? Did he know that it symbolized betrayal? I hear the name of the betrayer. Time has come. Showtime! The chattering crowd falls silent as the opening is announced. I look around at the others. Dressed in outfits made specifically for the recitation, Rika-san, Ichigo-san, Ringo-san, Hagiwara-senpai, and Hokama-senpai all look excited despite their evident nerves. The lead, Rika-san, utters a quiet prayer, and we all follow suit. The moment she murmurs to me, the dark, ominous clouds that had been rolling within my chest are swept away. The curtain slowly starts to rise. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. I'ma just let this do what it's gonna do. This is gonna be voiced over. Y'all don't need me for this. Hagiwara-senpai, who was in charge of the narration, reads out the opening lines of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Oh. It would be easy to assume that the narrator simply has to read out the lines, but it's actually a difficult role. Abandon emotion entirely and it becomes flat and monotone. Inject too much and the lines become muddled. Hokama-senpai is playing the part of Uncle Henry, protecting her lines with a volume you wouldn't expect her tiny frame to be able to produce. When she first approaches the difficult challenge of voicing every side character, there's an audible apprehension in her voice. Skillfully differentiating Aunt M's voice, she conveys the tension of the scene. Hagiwara-senpai continues on with her narration, telling how poor Dorothy and Toto are swept up in a cyclone and transported to the magical land of Oz, house and all. Then,
今あなたが喋ったの？
The scenes progress until Rika-san as Dorothy meets me, the scarecrow without a brain.
仰せの通り、私が呼びかけました。お嬢さんはご機嫌いかがかな？
私はとても元気よ。あなたは？
とてもご機嫌とは言えません。
Just as we practiced, Rika-san conveys Dorothy's innocent youth and fierce spirit.
ずっとここにとどまり続けているのです。カラスを追い払わなくちゃいけないのでね。
And I played my part as the sweet but foolish scarecrow. Dorothy and the Scarecrow's meeting. It reminds me of how in the spring, her walking boldly in the sun, me holding back in the shadows, no idea who I truly was. Untouched by my inner reminiscences, the story flows as swiftly as the winter skies.
エメラルドの街へと続く黄色いレンガ道へと戻った時です。どこからかうめき声が聞こえ、ドロシーは飛び上がるほど驚いたのでした。何の声？うめいているように聞こえるけれど。
さあ、何の声か見当もつかないな。
Following the sound of the groans, they make their way into the forest to find...
もしかしてうめいていたのはあなた？そうですそうです。かれこれ1年以上うめいているのです。でもこれまで誰も聞いてくれなかったし、助けに来てもくれなかった。
She's so good! Ichigo-san is perfectly cast as the cheerful, witty Tin Woodman. However...
ねえ、あなたを助けるのにはどうしたらよいの？油差しを取ってきて錆びた体のつなぎ目へ刺してください。私の小屋にあるので取ってきてはくださいませんか？
I can't help but see Yatsushiro Senpai and the Tin Woodman missing his heart. Ain't that the truth? Ever since I first put pen to paper, it was her face that I saw as I wrote.
あなた方は私の恩人だ。お二人が通りかからなかったらずっとこの森の中で朽ち果てていたでしょう。
The Tin Woodman conveys his gratitude and joins the others on their way to the Emerald City in order that he may find himself a heart.
あなたトトに噛みつこうとしたわね。あなたみたいに大きなライオンが小さな子犬に噛みつこうだなんて恥を知りなさい。分かっているよ。分かっているんだ。
Ringo-san plays the meeting of the Cowardly Lion to perfection. She draws out his timidity and lends a comic edge to his exchange with Dorothy. The brand new dialogue I wrote draws laughter from the audience, and my heart grows warmly in my chest. Glows, glows, glows.
見上げるほどに大きなライオンをいぶかしがりながらドロシーは尋ねます。どうしてそんなにも臆病なのかを。 それは生まれつきなんじゃないかと思う。どうしても周りの動物が怖くて仕方がないんだ。でも僕はこの通り体が大きいだろ。だから恐ろしくとも一声うなれば皆逃げていく。僕に向かってきた勇気のあるものは君が初めてだよ。
The
あなた方は私の恩人だ。
exchange between Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion continues.
あなた方は私の恩人だ。
Just as we practiced, Rika-san conveys Dorothy's innocent youth and fierce spirit. I was thinking of Yatsushiro-senpai when I wrote the part of the Tin Woodman, but then when I wrote the Cowardly Lion, it was Kamikado-senpai who came to mind for whatever reason. Just conveniently. She was beautiful and kind, yet also somewhat eccentric. Why I saw her in the Cowardly Lion is a mystery to me. It's almost like you had to tie it together for theming in your visual novel. No, that couldn't be. On their journey, they have many adventures. The group work together to cross a great river. They shake off the poppy's allure of eternal sleep. They are rescued by the queen of the field mice. Eventually, they arrive at the Emerald City. Love it when we come back to this theme. It's always so good. Oh, that's so good. It hits real good.
はじめまして、私はドロシー。偉大なあなたへ助けてほしくてお願いに来ました。
Oz hears Dorothy's plea but tells her that he requires something of equal value in return.
願いを叶えるために邪悪な西の魔女を殺せ。
Boy, she got that down. At first, Dorothy weeps, upset at the unreasonable demand. She recovers her inborn courage, however, and sets out on a quest to find the witch. Then, as they journey to find the Wicked Witch of the West...
どうしてそんなに恐ろしい顔をするの？ここは魔法の国。自分がもう一人増えたところで驚くことはないでしょ？
I think this is new. The battle begins. The battle between Dorothy and her shadow, the other Dorothy. This is my original contribution to the story.
あなたは私なのよ。なぜ私たちへ意地悪ばかりするの？
You're playing Celeste.
意地悪？それは違うわ。鏡なのよ、ドロシー。あなたたちの愛情は私にとっての憎しみ。意地悪は愛情なの。ドロシーはひどく恐ろしくなりました。影のドロシーの物言いではありません。自分の心の中にあのような気持ちがあったことを知ったからです。
The audience is engrossed, listening intently as this brand new story that deviates from the original Wizard of Oz they know. Rika-san skillfully emotes Dorothy's conflict. Ichigo-san's witty Tin Woodman supports her. Ringo-san's Cowardly Lion screws up his courage and fights back the assassins sent by the other Dorothy. The brainless Scarecrow, played by me, tries simply to protect his friends. They just put action scenes in The Wizard of Oz. I love it. I'd love to see this version.
あなたの言う通りだわ、ドロシー。でも、私の告げた言葉もまた真理なのよ。なぜなら私の言葉は真実。混じり気のない心から生まれた言葉なのだから。消えゆく自分の影を見て、ドロシーは肉をそがれるような痛みを味わいました。でも痛みがある方がまだいいと思い直します。本当にまずいのは痛みすら感じなくなった時だからと。
Oh, that's real good theming! In Hokama-senpai's voice, the other Dorothy's loneliness echoes across the stage. The narration Hagiwara-senpai spins elicits tears from the audience. We get through the most difficult part, the twist without a hitch, and I allow myself an internal sigh of relief. Now we're headed towards the denouement. Raising my eyes from the script, I gaze out at the sea of glimmering eyes. I no longer sense among them the ghostly shadows I did at the start. I don't even sense the ever-present specter of my stepmother. And yet, From behind the gauzy curtain covering the entrance to the small antechamber, the back of the underground theater, I see two figures, and my eyes show me a phantom. Two figures, and my eyes show me a phantom. The blue butterfly I saw with my grandfather dances around their silhouettes, fluttering close. A shudder of fear crawls its way up my spine. I can't tear my gaze away from the butterfly as it wavers in the air. Then, abruptly, without warning, I remember asking my father why he displayed the Chinese redbud only on certain days. My father answered with a terribly sad look on his face. And after that, I no longer tried to ask about my name. I couldn't. In my heart, I grew to harbor two competing desires, an urge to know the truth and a wish not to upset my father. At last, all that was left was a twisted hunger, a desire to pursue the truth. Like a shipwreck at the bottom of the deep, dark ocean waiting to be dredged up. I won't either. And I believe that one day, my father will tell me. We made it through, everybody. We did it. Good job. Time for a tea party. Dark thoughts churn within me as I listen to the blizzard batter the window. Each strong gust that rattles the panes is a green-coated figure tapping the sharp tip of its hooks against the glass. Although the window is shut tight, drafts find their way through invisible gaps to run their icy fingers down my cheeks. With the lights and heating turned off, the air in the darkened library is so cold it feels like a thin layer of ice must have frozen across it. I stand stock still, the cold seeping into the soles of my feet as I to freeze my entire being. Wouldn't it be bad for books to just kind of like remain in like I worked in a library, but I never had to work in a library that didn't have, that like, shut the heating off at night. Wouldn't like the books getting too cold or too hot kind of like mess with them a bit? Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe you would want to keep the heating on or some kind of temperature regulation being done in at least the library for that purpose. I mean, just saying. Abruptly realizing, I rub the backs of my hands, but find them numb and without feeling. What am I doing here in this gloomy library in the dead of night? I think back to what happened just a few hours earlier. Our evening recitation in the St. Joseph Theater went off without a hitch. To a thunderous reception. Even after the curtain fell, the applause continued unabated, and not only from our fellow first-year students, but from the second and third years too. The cast of the show gathered in my room for a small celebration of our success. Erika-san and Takasaki-san joined us, helping with our rehearsals. We enjoyed fragrant tea and sweets supplied by the attendees. A special tea prepared by my amitié partner was so obviously a cut above what we usually drank that a single sip had us looking at one another in amazement. Perhaps because of the rush of endorphins brought on by our success, even the reticent Hagiwara-senpai was able to join in our chat. And I was even able to coax Hokama-senpai out of her shell. I found out that her hobby was collecting minerals. Minerals! As I was enjoying the conversation, I felt a tug on my sleeve and heard a low voice in my ear. I want to talk to you in private. Rubbing my forearms against the cold, I'm now aware of. I addressed the girl who asked me here. So who wants to talk in private? Oh, huh? I ask Erika-san what she wants to discuss. Seemingly impervious to the cold, she directs her cat-like smile at me, but I'm confused.
こんな夜更けに校舎に潜入するだなんて血まみれメアリーの儀式を
Good times, good times.
エリカさんは参加していなかったはずじゃ。
At my words, she shrinks back, slightly but conspicuously.
やれやれ余計なことは言わない方が良かったなこんなことでシェイプシフターだってことがバレちまうなんてねまだ前の持ち主の記憶がうまく馴染んでないようだ呼び出したのがお前
You're very silly, Erica. She flashes me a sinister smile, then slowly moves toward me with a sound like a squeaking bat.
ゼイリブを見たことがないのか
Good
メガネの委
movie!
員長に借りてこいよ
Good movie. That movie's fun as hell. Her lips curve into a crescent moon as a strong gust hammers against the window. The temperature in the dark library seems to drop another notch.
とまあ冗談は
All right, so what's on your mind, kitty cat?
さっさと本題に入ろうこんな場所で長々話してちゃ風邪をひいちまうからな
Certainly not. With that, her expression reverts back to her usual disdainful smile. A sight for sore eyes.
心臓に悪いわ。
One of these days you're gonna give me a heart attack.
おいおいゼイリブみたいに入れ替わってるなんてマジで思ったんじゃないだろうな
The location, the atmosphere, you know.
まあなかなかに舞台効果が高そうってのはあるかだがこっちが悪乗りしたのは
Because you're so easy to tease? Oh!
はぐらかしたって。
Oh, you know.
察しがいいお前なら呼び出した意味が分かっていると思ったんだがなそれともこの後に
This is Erika Yaigaki is sick of your shit.
エリカさん。
あの告発
The
状
letter. She knows who it is. She knows.
バスキア教諭から誤解を解くことに成功したで
All well and good. She moves her wheelchair another step closer and faces me head on, her expression serious.
誰が言うだろう
Oh. Yeah, I think she knows, but she just wants to hear Suo say it.
みんなの前だから口には出さなかったがあの告発状の内容は詳しすぎるお前をよく知ったやつが出したものだただ身近にいたって人物じゃない性格行動を読んだ上での内容だっただから
She glares at me, pulling a face like she's bitten into a lemon. She's trying to see through my true motives.
仲間の中にユダがいるお前はもう分かっているんだろう
She's right about one thing.
確かに寄宿舎でおいそれとできる話。
Yeah, this isn't something we probably wanted to discuss in the dorms. Good call in pulling this one to somewhere else. Now I understand why she brought me out to the library in the dead of night to talk. However... Oh, come on! Yatsushiro-senpai. Although the letter was accusatory, it wasn't intended to hurt me. I believe there was a hidden intention behind it. I believe that Yatsushiro-senpai hoped I would intuit her hidden message to me from the contents of the letter, which means that the letter wasn't malicious in nature. It hides some kind of secret code that relates to the Tulpa of Agape and Shion Basquiat.
へえだんまりか
She's not happy about this.
違うの。
ならどんなつもりなんだ私にも話せないことなのか答えろ
Come on. Despite her harsh tone, Erika-san looks like she's about to burst. She's like literally, like, yeah, like I think she's just really hurt by this. She's like, why won't you let her in? Like when she's like had your back this whole damn time. Like who is, like other than Rika, who else has had her back more? She's like a sensitive little girl who's been betrayed by her parents for the first time. The window panes clatter in their frames. She gives a self-deprecating shrug of her shoulders.
答えは風の中にってボブ・ディランじゃないんだぜ
You're not Bob Dylan. There's no bite to her usual banter, and
これって
suddenly I catch a whiff of a familiar scent. Has the wind caught the fragrance of the flower that and carried it through the cracks?
そんなはずはないこの時期に校舎の周りには花は咲いていない
Suo? You okay? What's going on? Which means...
人は見たいものしか
What? But excuse me? Why? The words shatter the icy air of the cold, dim room. Of course, it was neither me nor Erika who spoke them.
そうだ
Oh, shit. The clack of footstep echoes through the library as the two shadows grow nearer. Lily of the Valley. That's the flower I can smell. As they approach, the hazy black shapes resolve into distinct, recognizable forms. Here we go. What are you doing here? What is going on? Why is any of this? Why are you wearing the uniform? What is it? Where did your hair go? I think it looks better this way. She does not look happy though. I don't know, she just does not look like she wants to be here right now. And I don't know what your deal is, but oh, I don't think any of this is good. Why is it? Dude, they just literally had an anime villain entrance. Are you kidding me? Oh God, here we go.
コミカドネリネ
What is happening? The two girls appear before us like ghosts from the gloom. Yatsushiro-senpai is wearing her trademark cynical smile. Narine Mikado is staring at us, her face pale and expressionless. No, she looks like she's assessing us, evaluating us. I see that her long golden hair has been chopped short. To like, maybe lay low? Like, because they ran away? Or did she have like a character-defining moment where she cut her hair in the mirror, alone at night, disposing of the old me?
どうした久しぶりの再会だ
I don't know about that. I don't know why you're here.
八代先輩どうして
どうしてつまらない返しだここは感激して抱きしめ合う場面だろそうだよな八重垣くん
Erika-san has been staring at Yatsushiro-senpai as though she really has seen a ghost. But these words finally snap her out of it, and she lets out a long breath of air.
あんた本当に八代先輩なのか
She's no shapeshifter.
幽霊にでも見えるのかいほらしっかりと2本の足がついているまあシェイプシフターかもしれないけどね
I look between Yatsushiro-senpai and her unwavering sardonic smile and Komikado-senpai.
私を見忘れたのかしら
Dang.
随分と薄情な後輩ね
Nothing for you. Dang. She regards us with cruel, unfeeling eyes. It's hard to believe that those icy words are coming from Narine Komikado, former vice president of the Council of Nikaya.
八代先輩なぜ
それは僕が送った手紙のことを言っているのかな
Or are you asking about me sniffing around disguised as the Hookman? She questions me.
あんただ。
Oh, she's mad.
乱暴な物言いね。口の利き方に気をつけなさい。
Ooh, are you trying to like be the bad cop now? Are you trying like nobody's buying it? You're not a tough guy. Get out of here, Narine. That's not you. Erika-san falls silent at her words, sharp and cold as icicles. Yatsushiro-senpai scratches her temple and then chuckles awkwardly.
いいんだネリー。口が悪いのは彼女のチャームポイントだからね。
What is with it? Like, why? What is with this antagonization?
だが、君の質問に答えるならいい。
Ui!
僕が白羽スを害する目的で手紙を送った。
What? No, I don't think that's it. I sent that letter with the intention of hurting Suo Shirahane. She informs me cheerfully, her out-of-place smile never wavering. Again, I whisper the word, why?
そうですよね。そんなわけない。あの手紙には私へ向けて何か意味が、鍵があるのですよね。
ああ、そうなんだ。あの手紙には。
Yeah, not even the reader could uncover that. Like, that shit was hidden so well that literally, literally only Suo Shirahane, written as a visual novel protagonist, could have figured that shit out.
やっぱり。
The thick sludge sitting unpleasantly in my chest melts away, and I finally release a sigh of relief. I don't think that means she's a good girl right now. But then a faint sound reaches my ears. Practicing your anime villain laugh. It grows until the two shadowy figures are cackling uncontrollably.
鍵だって小説や映画好きの悪いところだ。すべてに意味を見出してしまう。
Not buying it.
あれはただの嫌がらせだよ。
手紙を出してよかった。とても素敵な顔を見ることができたもの。
I hear a familiar bat-like squeak move in their direction. It's Erika-san.
そうか。仲間の中に裏切り者がいると踏んではいたが、まさかあんただったなんてな。
とても楽しかったでしょ。
ああ、最高に笑えたよ。秋の自分には随分と骨を折って助けてやった相手がこんな人でなしだったなんてな。
Let him have
お
it.
前たちには心ってやつがない。
ああ、そんなものはない。僕はブリキの木こりだ。ハートを持ち合わせていないんだ。心なんて花からない。
Her lips curl into a crimson crescent moon, but Erika-san faces the disconcerting smile head on.
友人に裏切られショックのようだね。
This... Mm.
あんたも友だと思う。
Oh, come on. You don't mean that. Erika-san spits out the words, but Yatsushiro-senpai tells her that's not true.
そんな心にもないことを言わなくていい。僕にはわかるんだ。目を見れば君の中の部屋が覗ける。
何を言ってやがる。
僕が目から心を覗けなかったのは今までで一人だけだ。八重垣君。
Oh! Oh, there it is! Cutting herself off, she glances at Erika-san to me, then saying that she's not gonna follow that line of thinking any further, she smooths down the back of her hair and turns to face me fully.
真実の女神に近づいては
What do you have to do with the goddess of truth?
何を言葉通りの意味だ。もう探偵ごっこは終わりにするんだ。
What are you...
やるだけやって気が済んだな。
ふざけないでください。あなたが私を焚きつけたんですよ。アガペのタルパのことも。タルパ、そいつは。
There you go. Yeah, you've got to, like, there's no way she can't take this to everybody now. After this development, she literally has to take this to the group. You can't do this alone. There are machinations at play that we just cannot understand.
おやヤイガ君には話していたのかな。ダメじゃないか。それはニカイアの会の会長だけの秘密だ。
そうか、タルパ。あんたが白羽に何か吹き込みやがったんだな。
嫌だわ。親切心からなのに。
三下に用はないんだよ。答えろ。
Damn! Just shut your stupid mouth hole, Nerine, with your stupid cool haircut.
マルタの鷹と同じだ。人々の間を巡る者には必ず理由がある。
The Maltese Falcon? For a moment, I'm confused by the mysterious reference.
忠告はした。これ以上探るなら。
Oh, really? You're gonna put a stop to it? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you actually gonna try and physically harm us? Bring it on. Abruptly, as though having suddenly lost interest in us, the pair turn to leave. Erika-san is immediately hot on their heels, calling out to them to stop. Oi!
これ以上話すことはない。
ふざけるな。そっちにはなくてもこっちにはあるんだよ。
Yeah, get him!
見苦しいわね。
Oh, shut up! You and your stupid haircut that's not even very cool. Erika-san grabs hold of Yatsushiro-san's sleeve to prevent her from leaving, tugging with all her strength. Get her!
いい加減にしろ。
Oh no! Yatsushiro-senpai roughly brushes her hand away, No! Oh, oh. Before she even has time to cry out, she's been sent sprawling to the ground. Oh! Oh, girl. Girl, you gonna get fucked up. Oh! Oh my god! Wait till I tell Chidori about this. Oh no. No! Why did you kill Erika? I rush to her side. I call her name and shake her, but she's unresponsive. Oh, what the hell, Yuzu? Still nothing. She must have hit her head. Even as an icy chill crawls up my spine, my cheeks are warmed by the heat of my anger.
忠告を無視するからこうなる。
Oh, you're fucked. You're fucked. You are so fucked. I don't like saying the F word during this series because it feels like I shouldn't because it's really classy. But man, fuck you, Yuzu. Oh my god. Oh my god. Above my head, I hear the chirp of Yatsushiro-senpai's voice, but... Oh, I don't comprehend what she's saying. My heart is pounding like a drum and my limbs are clumsy and numb. Get up and beat her ass! Erika Yaigaki, my dearest friend. As I clench her limp body in my arms, it seems to grow heavier and colder, fanning my fears. All I can do is let my tears fall onto her cheeks. Dude, what? What? Oh, that's so fucked! Oh! Oh, God. I guess we're ending the chapter now, too? As I read through the letter, something occurs to me. The closest to the girls must not have noticed the changes occurring between them. When watching romance movies, it's sometimes hard to believe that the protagonist could possibly be as clueless as they seem. How do they not see the signs? But as I read through the letter, learning what happened to the two of them, I recall the ceramic vase my grandfather treasured. Uh-huh. Even as a child, I knew it was something special. Although my grandfather would occasionally show it to me, I was never allowed to touch it. It rested on a pedestal where it could be appreciated from afar. Whenever I gazed at it, the tiny petals, the pattern of the surface seemed to dance like delicate flakes in a snowstorm. Fascinated by the detailed craftsmanship, I would lean in closer. And then, all of a sudden, the shapes would lose their meaning, the petals becoming cold, blurred droplets of late-night rain. I would pull away again, and it would morph back into some breathtakingly beautiful design as before. I picture their relationship as being similar. Oh! I think we just text boxed it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Yeah, I'm gonna... hello? Wait. You... Okay, hold on. I gotta run this back. I can't? Oh, that's cool. I just don't get that text. All right. That's awesome. Yep, we just don't get that text. It began with the Feast of the Assumption. Her amitié partner being chosen over her, the star of the class, that was the first bloom of rust to mar their bond. Oh. Oh. Perhaps their classmates hadn't taken it seriously. Still, it led her to wonder, jealousy, why her amitié partner had been chosen over her, clearly exciting a friction between them. Feeling vindicated, she said cruel, thoughtless things to her amitié? Her words? What? What is... In her stubbornness, she made no effort to stitch it back up. And then came the deciding factor. Their ballet grades turned the small tear into a gaping rift. Despite her prowess, she bowed to pressure in the ballet exam and scored lower than her amitié. In her own words, I knew how hard she'd worked for it, so I wasn't upset. But I realized then that we had grown too close. What is... I have other thoughts happening now, and again, I don't want to voice them because I don't want to like ruin the Let's Play, but also it's just like I don't because of our closeness, I couldn't stand to see those subtle cracks, and I suppose those little tears looked like something else at such close range. I don't expect forgiveness from my amitié. After all, I was the one who first reached out my hand to her. Yet now there I was, pulling out of her grip. Her mournful tone continues for several pages until it gradually shifts, revealing her desire to put things right between them. I'm relieved, certain now that the girls will find their way back to each other and settle at a comfortable distance. This is not Suo and Mayuri. It can't be, because Rika is not here. That can only mean like one thing, and it's a leap of logic. But if you're on the same page as me, I think we're reading the story of something, and despite its similarities, however, when I get to the end of the letter, the hastily scrawled lines at the bottom fill me with dread. Of course I should have faced up to her. I should have apologized and made things right.
仲直りするべきだった。意固地になったせいで。
But because of my own willful stubbornness, my amitié is gone. Dude. I think I know what we're reading. I don't know the context of everything yet, but I think I know what we're reading. There is a story in Grimm's fairy tales called The Singing Bone. In it, a king promises his daughter's hand in marriage to whoever can slay the dangerous boar terrorizing the countryside. Two brothers from a poor family decide to try. After a fateful meeting, the younger of the two procures a mysterious black spear with which he is able to defeat the boar. On his way back to the castle, he encounters his older brother, drunk on wine. Upon realizing that his younger brother has slain the boar, the elder brother kills him to claim the feat as his own. He buries his younger brother's bones beneath a bridge, then proceeds to the castle where he claims falsely that he was the one to defeat the boar. As a reward, he is married to the princess. The elder brother lives a life of luxury, but then one day, a passing shepherd discovers one of the younger brother's bones beneath the bridge. He fashions a flute from it. But before he can blow into it, the flute begins to sing. Oh, my dear shepherd, you are blowing on my little bone. My brother killed me and buried me beneath the bridge to get the wild boar for the daughter of the king. The shepherd brings the singing bone to the king, revealing to him the truth. The elder brother is executed for his crime, and the younger brother's bones are given a respectable burial. The end. The story that begins now is that of the flute's sad melody, played by both betrayer and betrayed. That's interesting framing for betrayer and betrayed. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, we're gonna stop there for now. We got a lot to think about. What a absolute blockbuster of a part. Jesus, like everything's happening now. We know now that Suo has definitely gotten too close to the truth. We don't know why Narine and Yuzuriha are betraying everybody, or why they're fighting so fiercely to keep her away from the truth, or what they can even do. Like what? Like if that really just puts a lot of things out there. It's just like, well, are they actually in cahoots with who's doing this? Like, so does Dahlia know that they're just running around out here doing their own thing and throwing handicapped girls out of their wheelchairs? Jesus. And that too. I don't know how I don't know how Yuzuriha gets out of that without being completely just freaking murdered. Chidori's gonna have a shit fit. Chidori's literally gonna kill someone. Oh my God. I just want my poor baby to be okay. God, that Suo's gonna feel so oh God. Well, I mean, everybody's just neck deep in it now. Jeez, I don't know. I don't know, man. Flowers is going real hard right now in a way that I did not expect when I started reading an hour and a half ago. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I always appreciate you loaning me a bit of your time, and I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, wherever you are, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye!